Hey, welcome back. Quick heads up. If you missed part 1, you'll want to watch that first. Its link is in the description below. Trust me, you need the backstory for what's about to happen. Alright, so 5 years have passed. Diana and Minjun left the Mafia world behind, built a peaceful life with their daughter. They thought the danger was finally over. They thought the past had no sway over the future. Are they wrong? Well, we're about to find out. 5 years of peace shattered with 3 words. Hello, Diana Chun. Diana froze in her doorway, grocery bags dangling from both hands. The man standing on her front porch wore traditional Chinese robes, deep crimson silk embroidered with gold phoenixes. His age was impossible to determine. Could have been 40. Could have been 70. Behind her, 5-year-old Maylin played with blocks in the living room, humming a song from her kindergarten class. I don't know what you're talking about. Diana's voice was steady, but her mind was already calculating exit routes, weapon locations, how quickly she could get Maylin to safety. The man smiled sadly. The dragon of the south doesn't lie well. Never did. He bowed slightly. My name is Wei. I come from the Phoenix Temple. Every muscle in Diana's body went rigid. Phoenix Temple. The words she'd spent 5 years trying to forget. The life she'd abandoned on the eve of the most important night of her existence. I left that world, Diana said quietly. I'm not going back. I'm not here to take you back. Wei glanced past her at Maylin. I'm here to warn you that they're coming. Who's coming? The Shadow Serpent sect. Your temple's ancient rivals. Wei's expression darkened. They've discovered your location. More importantly, they've learned what you left behind when you ran. Diana's hands tightened on the grocery bags. The successor ceremony. You were chosen, Diana. The Phoenix Temple's heir. The next guardian of our most sacred techniques. Wei stepped closer, his voice dropping. When you disappeared, you created a vacuum. The Shadow Serpents believe that if they kill you, the chosen one who was never consecrated, they can steal the temple's power. That your death will break the spiritual protection around our secrets. That's not how it works, Diana said. The temple's magic doesn't transfer through murder. We know that. They don't. Or they don't care. Wei's eyes moved back to Maylin. And there's something else you should know. Inside, Maylin kicked one of her blocks. It flew across the room with impossible force, embedding itself 3 inches deep into the drywall. Diana's blood went cold. When did it start? Wei asked softly. 3 months ago. Small things at first. Moving too fast. Hitting too hard. Yesterday she broke her bed frame just by rolling over. Diana's voice cracked slightly. Minjun thinks she's just strong for her age. He doesn't know. She's inherited your gift. The Phoenix bloodline runs true. Wei met Diana's eyes. That's why the Shadow Serpents are coming, Diana. It's not just about you anymore. They want your daughter. The grocery bags hit the porch. Diana's hand shot out, grabbing Wei by the throat, slamming him against the door frame. If you touch her, I'm here to protect her. Wei didn't struggle. The temple sent me to warn you. To help you. Because the Shadow Serpents don't want to kill Maylin. They want to take her. Raise her as their own weapon. Turn your daughter into everything you fought against. Diana released him slowly. How long do I have? They were spotted in Incheon 2 days ago. Could be hours. Could be days. Wei straightened his robes. But they will come. The front door opened wider. Minjun stood there, home early from his legitimate business. He'd kept his promise, left the criminal world behind, built something clean. He looked from Diana to Wei, reading the tension instantly. What's going on? Minjun's voice carried the edge of a man who'd survived in dangerous circles long enough to recognize a threat. This is Wei, Diana said. We need to talk. All of us. 20 minutes later, they sat in the living room. Maylin was upstairs napping, unaware that her entire world was about to change. Again, Wei had explained everything. The Phoenix Temple. Diana's abandonment of her role as heir. The Shadow Serpent sect's belief that murdering her would grant them access to ancient power. The real target, their daughter. Minjun sat in silence after Wei finished. Then he stood, walked to the window, stared out at their quiet suburban street. 5 years ago, you saved my life, he said without turning around. You revealed who you really were, fought an army to protect me, and then you gave up everything to build this life with me. Diana waited. Now you're telling me there's another secret. Another layer I didn't know about. Minjun turned to face her. Were you ever going to tell me? I didn't think it mattered anymore, Diana said quietly. I walked away from the temple. I chose you. Chose this family. I thought that was enough. It's never enough though, is it? Minjun's voice held pain, not anger. The past always finds us. Always, Diana agreed. Minjun crossed the room and knelt in front of her chair. Then we face it. Together. Like last time. Minjun, these aren't mafia enforcers or corrupt businessmen. These are trained assassins who've spent their entire lives mastering martial arts. There. Out of your league? Minjun smiled slightly. Yeah, I know. I'm just a reformed gangster who happens to be married to a legend. But here's the thing, Diana. You taught me something 5 years ago when you fought to save my life. What's that? That love makes you stronger, not weaker. That protecting what matters is worth any risk. Minjun took her hands. So teach me. Train me. Make me strong enough to stand beside you when they come. Wei cleared his throat. With respect, training takes years. Then we'll compress years into days. Minjun's eyes never left Diana's. You once told me you'd do anything for our family. Let me do the same. Diana saw it then. The man who'd called her weak, who'd brought his mistress home, who'd underestimated her completely. That man was truly gone. In his place was someone who understood that strength came in many forms. That partnership meant facing impossible odds together. It's going to hurt, Diana warned. Good. Minjun stood, pulling her up with him. When do we start? Now. Diana turned to Wei. Can you watch Malin? Wei nodded. The temple sent me with protective talismans. She'll be safe here while you train. How long do you think we have? Minjun asked. Wei's expression was grim. The shadow serpents move like their namesake. Silent. Patient. They could be watching this house right now. Diana moved to the window, scanning the street with trained eyes. Everything looked normal. But normal was often an illusion. Then we don't have time to waste. She looked at her husband. Basement. Now. The basement had become Diana's private training space over the years. Minjun had always assumed she used it for yoga and meditation. He'd never questioned the reinforced walls or the padded floor. Now he understood. Take off your shirt, Diana said, closing the door behind them. Minjun complied. 5 years of legitimate business had softened him slightly, but he'd stayed in decent shape. Diana circled him, assessing. Your stance is too wide. Center of gravity too high. She tapped his knee with her foot. You move like a brawler. Street fighter instincts. That won't work against martial artists who've trained since childhood. So fix me. Diana moved behind him, her hands adjusting his posture. Feet closer together. Knees bent. Lower. More. Her touch was clinical but intimate. Fighting isn't about size or strength. It's about efficiency. Every movement serves a purpose. Like this. Minjun shifted his weight. Better. Diana stepped back. Now hit me. Diana. Hit me. Don't think about it. Just do it. Minjun threw a punch. Fast by normal standards. Diana wasn't normal. She deflected it with minimal effort, her hand redirecting his fist past her face. Again. He tried a combination. Jab, cross, hook. Diana flowed around each strike like water. Your telegraph, she said. You wind up before every punch. I can see them coming 3 moves ahead. Then teach me not to. For the next hour, Diana broke down his movements, rebuilt them from scratch. Showed him how to punch from relaxed positions. How to generate power through hip rotation instead of arm strength. How to read an opponent's center line. Minjun was drenched in sweat, his muscles screaming. Diana looked barely winded. How are you not pregnant right now? He gasped. Diana smiled. What? Watching you move like this. Knowing what you can do. Minjun straightened despite the pain. It's intoxicating. We're training. I know. He stepped closer. But I'm also falling in love with you all over again. The real you. Not the woman you pretended to be for me. Diana's expression softened. I wasn't pretending. I was just showing you one side. Show me everything. Minjun's voice dropped. No more secrets. No more holding back. I want to know every part of you. Even the violent parts? Especially those. He touched her face gently. Because they're part of what makes you who you are. The woman who'd burn the world down to protect our daughter. Diana kissed him. Hard. Desperate. 5 years of holding back centuries of trained instinct. And now she was finally letting him see the warrior beneath the wife. When they broke apart, Minjun grinned. We should probably get back to training before Wei thinks we're doing something else down here. One more drill. Diana moved to the weapons rack Minjun had never seen before. She pulled away a false panel, revealing an arsenal. Swords, staffs, butterfly knives, 3-section staffs, and things Minjun couldn't even name. She selected 2 practice staffs, tossed one to Minjun. Weapons, he asked. The shadow serpents won't fight empty-handed. Neither can we. Diana spun her staff experimentally. Basic defense. Keep the staff between you and me at all times. What followed was the most intense 30 minutes of Minjun's life. Diana attacked relentlessly, her staff a blur. Every time he dropped his guard, she'd land a strike, controlled, but hard enough to leave bruises. You're holding back, Minjun said. Of course I am. Don't. Diana paused. Minjun, I need to know what we're actually facing. Hit me like you'd hit them. You'll get hurt. I'll heal. Minjun set his stance. Come on, dragon. Show me what you've got. Something flickered in Diana's eyes. A spark of the woman she used to be. She moved. Minjun barely registered the strike before his staff was knocked from his hands. Diana's weapon stopped an inch from his throat. Dead, she said quietly. Again. They reset. This time Minjun lasted 3 seconds. Again. 5 seconds. Again. 10 seconds before Diana disarmed him with a technique so fast he didn't see it happen. You're improving, Diana said. I'm getting destroyed. Same thing in combat training. Diana helped him up. Your instincts are good. You just need to train them. Upstairs, something crashed. Both of them froze. Minjun moved for the stairs. Diana caught his arm, shook her head. She handed him a real staff from the weapons rack, took a sword for herself. They crept upstairs. The living room was chaos. Furniture overturned. Wei stood in front of the staircase leading to Malin's room, blood dripping from his mouth. 3 figures dressed in black surrounded him, their movements predatory. The shadow serpents had arrived. One of them noticed Diana. He smiled, revealing filed teeth. The dragon of the south. We've been looking forward to meeting you. Where's my daughter? Diana's voice was ice. Upstairs, sleeping peacefully. For now. The assassin tilted his head. Master Zhao sends his regards. He wants you to know, you can't run from destiny. The temple's power will be ours. One way or another. Diana's grip tightened on her sword. Beside her, Minjun adjusted his stance the way she'd taught him. Feet closer. Knees bent. Center of gravity low. You'll have to go through us first, Minjun said. The assassin laughed. That's the idea. Then they attacked. Hold on a second, viewers, if you're enjoying the story. Show some love with a like. Hit subscribe so you don't miss what's next. And tell me, where in the world are you watching from? Diana moved first. Her sword flashed in the afternoon light streaming through the windows. The nearest assassin barely got his blade up in time to parry. Steel rang against steel, and Diana was already flowing into her next strike. Minjun engaged the second attacker, his staff work crude but effective. The assassin's expression shifted from amusement to surprise. This wasn't the clumsy civilian he'd expected. Wei faced the third, despite his injuries. Blood stained his robes, but his stance remained solid. The fight exploded through the living room. Diana's opponent was skilled, his technique refined over decades. But she'd been trained by masters who made the shadow serpents look like amateurs. Her blade found openings he didn't know he'd left, forcing him back step by step. Minjun wasn't as lucky. His opponent's sword sliced across his ribs, drawing blood. The pain was immediate and sharp. Minjun. Diana's moment of distraction cost her. Her opponent's kick caught her in the stomach, sending her crashing into the wall. The assassin raised his blade for a killing strike. Malin appeared at the top of the stairs. Mommy. Everything stopped. 5 years old, clutching her stuffed rabbit, Malin looked down at the chaos. At the blood. At her mother in danger. Something changed in her eyes. The assassin nearest the stairs turned toward her, seeing opportunity. He started climbing. Malin's small hand shot out. A gesture Diana had seen before. In ancient scrolls describing Phoenix Temple techniques that took decades to master. A wave of pure force erupted from the child's palm. The assassin flew backward, hit the opposite wall so hard the drywall cracked. He slumped to the floor, unconscious. Dead silence filled the room. "Maylin, go back to your room," Diana shouted. But the damage was done. The remaining two shadow serpents stared at the little girl with hunger in their eyes. "Impossible," one breathed. "She's manifested the Phoenix Force already? At 5 years old." "Forget the mother," the other hissed. "Master Zhao needs to see this child. Now." They both moved toward the stairs. Diana intercepted one, her sword a silver blur. Minjun threw himself at the other, abandoning technique for desperate fury. Wei struggled to his feet, placing himself between the assassins and Maylin. The fight became brutal. Diana's opponent abandoned defense, trading blows freely, accepting cuts to get closer to the stairs. Blood splattered across furniture, walls, the floor. Minjun's staff cracked across his opponent's knee. The assassin grunted but didn't stop. His elbow drove into Minjun's jaw, splitting his lip. They grappled, falling over the couch. "The girl," one of them shouted in Mandarin. "Call for backup." Master Zhao was right. "She's the one we need." Diana's blood ran cold. This wasn't about killing her anymore. This wasn't about stealing techniques. They wanted Maylin alive, which made them infinitely more dangerous. She pressed her attack, driving her opponent back. Her sword found his shoulder, then his thigh. He went down hard. But the other assassin had broken free from Minjun. He was sprinting for the stairs. Diana threw her sword. It wasn't a technique taught in any manual. Pure desperation. The blade spun end over end, catching the assassin between the shoulder blades. He stumbled, crashed into the banister. Wei grabbed him, and they tumbled down the stairs together in a tangle of limbs. Diana rushed to Maylin, scooping her up. The little girl was crying, trembling. "Mommy, I'm scared." "I know, baby. I know." Diana held her tight, feeling the unnatural warmth radiating from her daughter's body. The Phoenix Force burning inside her. Minjun staggered to his feet, blood dripping from multiple wounds. "Are there more coming?" "Always." Wei groaned from the floor. Shadow serpents hunt in packs. This was just the advanced team. Diana's mind raced. They couldn't stay here. But running wouldn't solve anything. The shadow serpents would chase them forever. "The Phoenix Temple," she said slowly. "We have to go there." Wei looked up sharply. "Diana, you can't. You abandoned your duty. The elders will have to forgive me or watch a 5-year-old girl with the Phoenix Force get kidnapped by our enemies." Diana's voice was steel. "That's their choice. Even if they let you in, Master Zhao's forces will be waiting. He knows you'll eventually seek sanctuary there." Wei coughed, blood on his lips. "It's what he wants. To draw you out. To attack the temple directly. Then we give him what he wants." Diana set Maylin down gently, turned to Minjun. "Can you fight?" He wiped blood from his mouth. "I'm still standing, aren't I?" "This is insane," Wei protested. "You can't assault Master Zhao's compound with an injured monk and a man who learned martial arts 2 hours ago." "I'm not planning to assault his compound." Diana moved to the window, scanning the street. "Still clear, but that would change. I'm planning to go to the Phoenix Temple and challenge him on sacred ground. Force a formal duel." "A duel?" Minjun frowned. "What are the stakes?" "If I win, the shadow serpents leave my family alone forever. The temple's protection extends to Maylin." Diana pulled out her phone, fingers flying over the screen. "If I lose." "You won't lose," Minjun said firmly. "If I lose," Diana continued, "Master Zhao gets what he wants. Access to the Phoenix techniques. Power beyond measure." "And Maylin?" Wei asked quietly. Diana's jaw set. "Will be under the temple's protection regardless. That's non-negotiable. Master Zhao can have his duel, but he doesn't touch our daughter." She finished typing, sent the message. "I just sent the formal challenge. Master Zhao has to accept. Refusing would dishonor the ancient agreements between our sections." Minjun limped to her side. "When?" 3 days. That's traditional. Gives both sides time to prepare, to travel to the temple." Diana looked at him. "Gives me time to teach you everything I know. 3 days to become a master martial artist?" Minjun almost laughed. 3 days to become good enough to survive what's coming. Diana touched his face. "Because you're right. We do this together. But if something happens to me, nothing's going to happen to you." "If something happens," Diana insisted, You get Maylin out. You run, and you don't stop running. Upstairs, Maylin had stopped crying. When Diana looked up, her daughter stood at the railing, small hands gripping the wood. I want to learn too, Maylin said quietly. Diana and Minjun exchanged glances. Baby, you're 5 years old. I hurt that man. Maylin's voice was steady. I didn't mean to, but I did it. The glowy thing inside me, it's scary. The Phoenix Force. Already manifesting. Already dangerous. Diana climbed the stairs, knelt in front of her daughter. It's not scary. It's a gift. And I'm going to teach you how to use it. But first, Mommy needs to train Daddy, okay? Maylin nodded solemnly. To keep us safe? To keep us safe. 3 days felt like 3 years. Diana pushed Minjun harder than any training regimen should allow. They slept 4 hours a night. The rest was combat forms, meditation to center his chi, and more combat. Wei watched, occasionally offering corrections despite his injuries. His footwork is improving. Still telegraphs his strikes, but he's learning. Not fast enough. Diana wiped sweat from her forehead. They stood in a private training hall Wei had arranged, far from their compromised home. Maylin played in the corner under protective talismans, occasionally sending small objects flying when her power flared. Minjun collapsed against the wall, gasping. I can't. I need a break. Master Zhao won't give you breaks. Diana tossed him a water bottle. He's been training for 40 years. You've had 3 days. Exactly. So why am I even doing this? Minjun drank deeply. You're the fighter. Let me protect Maylin while you handle the duel. Because duels aren't fought alone. Diana sat beside him. The ancient rules allow each side to bring seconds. Warriors who can intervene if the fight becomes unfair or if treachery occurs. Minjun looked at her. You want me to be your second? I need someone I trust absolutely. Someone who'll protect Maylin if things go wrong. Diana's voice softened. Someone who loves her as much as I do. That's the only reason? No. Diana smiled slightly. I also need you to understand my world. Really understand it. Not just know about it, but live it. Feel it. Because when this is over, I'm not going back to pretending. I can't teach Maylin to embrace her gifts while hiding my own. Minjun processed this. So we're done with secrets. Completely done. Good. He stood, wincing at protesting muscles. Then teach me that move you did on the second day. The one where you seemed to disappear. Diana rose. The ghost step. It's advanced. I don't care. If I'm walking into the Phoenix Temple as your second, I need every advantage. Minjun set his stance. Show me. For the next hour, Diana broke down the technique. It wasn't invisibility. It was misdirection. Moving at the precise moment an opponent blinked or shifted focus. Using their expectations against them. Minjun failed repeatedly. But each failure was closer to success. There! Diana caught his arm as he executed something approximating the ghost step. You felt it, didn't you? That instant where you knew my eyes couldn't track you. I felt it. Minjun was breathing hard, but his eyes were bright. Again. They drilled until his body moved on instinct rather than thought. Until muscle memory began overriding street fighting habits with refined technique. Maylin watched, fascinated. Daddy's getting better. He is, Diana agreed. Want to show him what you learned today? The little girl nodded eagerly. She stood, closed her eyes like Diana had taught her. A wooden practice dummy across the room trembled. Then it slid 3 inches to the left. I moved it without touching it. Maylin beamed. Minjun stared. Is that normal? For a Phoenix Temple heir? Eventually. Wei's expression was troubled. For a 5-year-old? No. She's progressing impossibly fast. The Phoenix Force recognizes her bloodline, responds to her will. Is that dangerous? Minjun asked. It's unprecedented. Wei stood, moving to Maylin, which is exactly why Master Zhao wants her. Imagine raising a child with this potential, shaping her into the perfect weapon. By the time she's 15, she could be unstoppable. That's not happening, Diana said flatly. I know, but Zhao knows what you'll do to prevent it. Wei met her eyes. He knows you'll sacrifice yourself if necessary. That's his real goal. Not to win the duel, but to break you. To make you desperate enough to make mistakes. Diana had considered this. Master Zhao wasn't stupid. He'd challenge her to a duel, then make the stakes impossible. Force her into a position where winning meant losing something else. Then I don't make mistakes, she said simply. Nobody's perfect, Diana. I don't need perfect. I just need good enough. Diana turned to Minjun. One more drill. Then we rest. But Minjun was looking at Mei Lin, who'd moved another object. A cup this time, levitating it 6 inches off the ground before setting it down gently. She's incredible, he whispered. She's everything, Diana agreed. Which is why tomorrow we end this. Tomorrow, the duel. The Phoenix Temple awaited. That night, Diana couldn't sleep. She lay in the small bedroom Wei had arranged, staring at the ceiling. Minjun slept beside her, his body covered in bruises from training. Mei Lin was in the next room, protected by every ward and talisman Wei could arrange. Diana slipped out of bed, moved to the window. Seoul glittered in the darkness, oblivious to the ancient war about to reach its climax. Can't sleep. Minjun's voice came from behind her. Just thinking. He wrapped his arms around her, his chin resting on her shoulder. About tomorrow? About everything. The life I left behind. The one I built with you. The future Mei Lin deserves. Diana leaned into him. I walked away from the Phoenix Temple because I was tired of violence. Tired of duty. I wanted something real. And you found it? I found you. Diana turned in his arms. But I also ran from responsibility. From who I was meant to be. The temple chose me as their heir for a reason. I abandoned that. Are you saying you regret our life together? Never. Diana kissed him softly. But I regret leaving without facing what I left behind. That cowardice created this situation. If I'd properly left, formally renounced my position, maybe Zhao wouldn't have seen an opportunity. You're not responsible for his choices. No, but I am responsible for mine. Diana rested her forehead against his. Tomorrow, I fix what I broke. I face Master Zhao. Win or lose, I give Mei Lin a future where she doesn't have to run. We give her that future, Minjun corrected. Together. Together, Diana echoed. They stood in the darkness, holding each other, knowing that tomorrow everything would change. Either they'd win their freedom, or they'd lose everything trying. Outside, a shadow moved across the rooftop opposite. Then another, and another. The shadow serpents were watching, waiting. Tomorrow couldn't come soon enough. The Phoenix Temple sat high in the mountains north of Seoul, hidden from the world by ancient wards and modern misdirection. The journey took 6 hours by car, then another 2 hours hiking up paths that shouldn't exist. Diana led the way, Mei Lin strapped securely to Minjun's back. Wei followed, still injured but insisting on accompanying them. I forgot how remote this place was, Diana murmured as they climbed. The temple emerged from morning mist like something from a dream. Red pillars, golden roof tiles, courtyards arranged in perfect harmony. Monks in saffron robes moved through their morning routines, stopping when they spotted the approaching group. An elderly woman descended the main steps. Her hair was white, her face lined with age, but she moved with Diana's same fluid grace. So, the prodigal heir returns. Her voice carried across the courtyard. Diana bowed deeply. Master Feng, I seek sanctuary under ancient law. You abandoned ancient law 5 years ago. Master Feng's gaze swept over Minjun, Mei Lin, and Wei. Why should we honor it now? Because the shadow serpents have targeted my daughter. Diana straightened. She's manifested the Phoenix Force at 5 years old. Master Zhao intends to take her. Murmurs rippled through the gathered monks. Master Feng's expression shifted subtly. Show me. Diana nodded to Minjun. He set Mei Lin down carefully. The little girl looked nervous, surrounded by strangers in strange robes. It's okay, sweetheart, Diana said. Remember what we practiced. Mei Lin nodded. She closed her eyes, extended her small hand toward a stone lantern. The massive structure trembled, lifted 6 inches off the ground, held suspended for 5 heartbeats before settling back down. Complete silence. Master Feng approached Mei Lin, knelt before her. Child, do you know what flows through you? Mommy says it's the Phoenix Force. It makes me feel warm and tingly. And does it frighten you? Mei Lin considered this seriously. Sometimes. But Mommy's teaching me how to be friends with it. Master Feng smiled. The first warmth Diana had seen from her. Your mother is wise. She stood, addressing Diana. Master Zhao sent word yesterday. He accepted your challenge. He'll arrive by noon. What are the terms? Diana asked. Standard duel protocols. Single combat to first blood or submission. No fatal strikes. Seconds may intervene only if rules are violated. Master Feng paused. He added one condition. What condition? If he wins, you surrender yourself to the shadow serpents for 1 year. He'll train you in their techniques, attempt to convert you to their philosophy. Master Feng's eyes were hard. If you win, he retreats and agrees to a 10-year peace. The child remains untouched. That's it. Minjun spoke up. Just 10 years. What happens after? These things are negotiated in stages, Wei explained quietly. 10 years gives Meilin time to grow, to train, to potentially claim her mother's title. By then, the situation will be different. And if Zhao wins? Minjun's voice was tight. Diana spends a year with the people who want to kidnap our daughter? It's better than death, Master Feng said, which is what he originally wanted. Diana processed this. A year away from her family. A year with the shadow serpents, learning their techniques while they tried to corrupt her. But Meilin would be safe, protected by temple law. I accept the terms. Diana, no, Minjun started. I accept, she repeated firmly. Master Feng, I need 2 things. First, regardless of outcome, I want Meilin placed under the temple's protection immediately, not contingent on the duel. Master Feng considered. The temple will shelter her during the proceedings. Permanent protection must be earned. How? Win. Prove you're worthy of the title you abandoned. Master Feng's expression softened slightly. But I'll ensure no harm comes to her today. You have my word. Second request. I want to complete the heir ceremony. The one I missed 5 years ago. Diana's voice was steady. Before the duel, whether I win or lose, Meilin deserves a mother who finished what she started. Shocked whispers erupted from the assembled monks. Wei's eyes widened. You can't, he said. The heir ceremony takes hours. You'll be exhausted before the fight even begins. I'll manage. Master Feng studied Diana for a long moment. You're willing to handicap yourself deliberately? Zhao will arrive fresh, rested. You'll have spent the morning in rigorous spiritual trials. I ran from responsibility once. I won't do it again. Diana met her former master's eyes. I'm asking for the chance to do this right. To claim my title, then defend it properly. And if you collapse from exhaustion? If Zhao wins because you were too weak to fight effectively? Then I spend a year learning from my enemies while my daughter grows up safe. Diana's jaw set. That's a trade I'll make. Master Feng was silent. Then she bowed, a gesture of respect that shocked everyone present. Your courage honors the Phoenix Temple. The ceremony will begin immediately. She turned to Minjun. You are her second? I am. Then you'll witness the ceremony. You'll understand what your wife sacrificed 5 years ago. Master Feng gestured to 2 monks. Take the child to the gardens. Keep her safe. Meilin clung to Diana. Mommy. It's okay, baby. These people are friends. You'll be safe here. Diana kissed her forehead. When you see me next, Mommy will have finished something very important. Will it hurt? A little. But it'll be worth it. Diana watched as the monks led Meilin away, her daughter looking back with worried eyes. Minjun touched Diana's hand. Are you sure about this? I've never been more sure of anything. Diana squeezed his hand. Watch what happens next. Watch who I really am. They entered the temple. Inside, the air hummed with ancient power. Incense smoke curled toward vaulted ceilings. Murals depicted legendary warriors, their bodies wreathed in golden flames. The Phoenix Force in its purest form. Master Feng led them to the inner sanctum. A circular chamber with intricate symbols carved into every surface. At the center, a raised dais. The ceremony has 3 stages, Master Feng explained. Purification, awakening, and binding. Each tests a different aspect of your spirit. Many who attempt this fail. I won't fail, Diana said. We'll see. Master Feng nodded to the assembled monks, who began chanting in an ancient dialect. Remove your outer robes. Step onto the dais. And Diana. Yes. Whatever happens next, don't scream. It undermines the solemnity. The chanting intensified. Power gathered in the chamber, making the air thick and electric. Diana stepped onto the dais, and the Phoenix Force came alive. Golden flames erupted around Diana's body, not burning, but transforming. Minjun watched in awe as the fire traced patterns across her skin, ancient symbols marking her as the chosen heir. Diana's back arched. Pain and power warred across her face, but she didn't scream, didn't cry out. The phoenix force poured into her, centuries of accumulated energy seeking its rightful vessel. Her eyes snapped open, blazing gold instead of brown. The flames intensified, lifting her off the dais. She floated in midair, suspended by pure energy. The symbols on her skin began to glow, burning themselves permanently into her flesh. Minjun took an involuntary step forward. Wei caught his arm. Don't interrupt. This is the awakening stage. She's communing with every phoenix heir who came before her. Minutes stretched into eternity. Diana hung in the flames, her body rigid, her consciousness somewhere else entirely. Then suddenly it ended. The flames vanished. Diana dropped to the dais, landing in a perfect crouch. When she raised her head, her eyes were brown again, but something fundamental had changed. She radiated power, authority, purpose. Master Feng bowed deeply. Welcome home, Phoenix Heir. Diana stood, her movements liquid grace. She looked at Minjun, and he saw everything. The warrior, the mother, the woman who'd hidden so much of herself for so long. It's done, she said quietly. Now I'm ready to fight. Outside, a gong echoed through the mountains. Master Zhao had arrived.